Welcome back to GP today. Pecco Bagnaia's hard-fought fourth place at Mugello came with an unwelcome twist, a last-minute summons to race direction. The reigning runner-up found himself under investigation for contact with teammate Marc Márquez, even as the duo's thrilling duel held the crowd spellbound. Bagnaia admits he's still in the dark over the specifics, but the steward's call only adds to his mounting frustrations this season. The Tuscan hills witnessed another vintage Marc Márquez performance, as the 8-time world champion claimed his 93rd Grand Prix victory in style at Mugello. While the race was fierce, with Bagnaia, Marquez, and even Giannantonio involved in the scrap, the bigger duel may have been off track. Jorge Lorenzo's public poke stirred a subtle but clear response from Marc. It's better to talk on the track. Marc Márquez lit up Mugello with a sensational victory in the 2025 Italian GP, a race defined by ruthless aggression, tactical precision, and high-stakes drama. The highlight? A fierce clash between factory Ducati teammates Marquez and Pecco Bagnaia, followed by a masterclass of pace and control from the number 93. The 2025 Mugello GP may have brought another Ducati 1-2-3 on the podium, but not without heartbreak. While Marc Márquez stormed to a stunning victory, Pecco Bagnaia once again slipped out of podium contention. Ducati team boss Davide Tardozzi has now weighed in, defending both riders while acknowledging the mounting frustration on Bagnaia's side of the garage. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Mid-race, Marquez ducked inside Bagnaia into turn 5, running slightly wide. As Bagnaia closed the door, their desmosetices brushed. While the contact seemed part of normal Grand Prix racing, race direction thought otherwise. Marc passed me on the inside, went a bit wide, and I simply tried to cross the line. We touched slightly, but for me it was quite normal. Bagnaia's statement. What looked like a clean battle turned into a steward's inquiry. Bagnaia crossed the line fourth, but his post-race routine was interrupted by the call from the race director, leaving him puzzled and seeking clarity. The opening laps at Mugello showcased Bagnaia at his combative best, trading moves with both Marquez brothers in a sequence of breathtaking passes. It was nice at the beginning. I had a good pace, but as always, at a certain point the bike starts to close up, to move, and I can't follow my line. Despite his early promise, the Italian's pace evaporated as the race wore on. Technical gremlins began to nibble at his pace, blunting his challenge and leaving him unable to sustain the fight. A recurring theme crept back into Bagnaia's post-race debrief, the same handling and vibration issues that have plagued his Ducati all year. Whenever I want to take my line, the bike locks up, vibrates, and won't let me. This season has been like this. From misbehaving chassis to erratic rear grip, Bagnaia's confidence has taken a blow. Even on home soil, where he's normally motivated, he found himself hamstrung by a machine that refuses to cooperate. Despite his technical woes, Bagnaia remains certain of his talent, yet he concedes something intangible is holding him back. I know I can fight for victories, but right now there's something that's not allowing me to do so. With his signature relentless drive, Bagnaia insists solutions exist. But as his fourth place finish shows, raw determination can only compensate so much when machinery and setup are asking too much. Summoned to race direction yet again, Bagnaia left Mugello more confused than vindicated. The steward's scrutiny adds to his growing list of doubts, just as the championship battle demands unwavering focus. They called me to race direction and I still don't know the reason. Between on-track contact, persistent technical headaches, and unexplained inquiries, Bagnaia faces one of his toughest weekends yet, forced to navigate both stewards and the stopwatch under intense pressure. Mugello delivered everything a Grand Prix should: thrilling battles, passionate crowds, and split-second dramas. For Pecco Bagnaia, however, it underscored a season fraying at the seams, mechanical unpredictability, unanswered steward questions, and the looming pressure of a title fight slipping through his fingers. As the paddock moves on, Bagnaia must find answers, and fast, if he's to reclaim the form that made him a championship favorite. Marc Márquez didn't rush. He waited. Then, with trademark strategy and timing, he pounced. The win may have looked clean, but it was earned in battle, and built on restraint. I decided to stay calm. After 7 or 8 laps, I started to impose the pace I had in practice, Marc said. Mugello had been marked as a defensive weekend in Marquez's playbook. But after a promising Saturday, Marc realized a win was possible, and executed with surgical precision. Even while managing tire degradation and fierce competition from Pecco, his race IQ came through. The result? Victory. And a mental upper hand in the title race. Jorge Lorenzo questioned Marquez's adaptation to the Ducati. Marc didn't dodge it, but gave a technical, composed answer, highlighting the evolution in his riding style without the drama. The DNA of the Ducati is to ride with the rear, not to force the front. I've taken steps, especially in the sprint where I lacked explosiveness last year. Unlike the feisty younger Marquez, today's Marc shows a blend of humility and tactical poise. He credits his growing ability to adapt, to manage, and to attack at the right moment, skills he lacked in the heat of past battles. His response to Lorenzo? A subtle flex, delivered with calm confidence. The biggest threat to Marc's title isn't Pecco or Morbidelli, it's his brother. With Alex now consistently on the podium, the fight is literally staying in the family. We train together, we nap together, but separately in the motorhome. And we help each other improve our level. It's a rare dynamic in elite sport. 2 brothers fighting for the same crown, yet sharing tire strategies and warm-up. Marc's 40-point lead over Alex is strategic. A buffer he openly acknowledges as insurance for potential mishaps. But there's also pride. Marc respects the rival his brother has become. He's showing me what he's capable of, this also helps me grow. When he clinched the win, Marc didn't wave his signature number 93 flag, he celebrated with Ducati red. A deliberate, subtle statement after chatter from Lorenzo and others. We could have used the 93 flag for 93 victories, but there's no need to provoke. This is the new Marquez, still hungry, still dominant, but far more composed. He knows how to respond to critics without fireworks. His message is the result. And as he himself admitted, at 32 I talk like I'm 60. That wisdom? It's now part of what makes him so hard to beat. With Assen on the horizon, Marc Márquez heads into the next round with momentum, a growing lead, and clarity. Whether it's rivals in red or retired legends in the booth, he answers them all the same way, on the track. And at Mugello, his message rang louder than ever. I'm back. And I'm not here to talk, I'm here to win. From the very start, the tension was palpable. The Mugello GP exploded into life as Marc and Pecco fought wheel to wheel, refusing to yield a single inch on Ducati's home turf. The defining moment came on lap 3, when contact between the two sent Bagnaia briefly tumbling to third. At the beginning, in the fight with Marc and Pecco, I was trying not to go wide. Alex Marquez's statement. The clash didn't end either rider's race, but it changed the complexion entirely. Marc would quickly regroup and take control, while Pecco, rattled but resilient, scrambled to stay in contention. Alex Marquez capitalized on the chaos, making it a 3-way shootout in front of a roaring Italian crowd. While the headlines may focus on the factory drama, Fabio Di Giannantonio stole the spotlight late in the race. With Bagnaia still clinging to third, Di Gia launched a final lap attack that stunned the home fans and secured him his first ever Mugello podium. I knew I had to take a huge risk to catch him. On the last lap, I said, let's go for it, we'll do whatever it takes. Di Giannantonio's statement. It was a gritty, all-or-nothing move that paid off handsomely. For Di Gia, the result is a career highlight. For Bagnaia, it was another emotional setback on home soil, and yet another race where Ducati's reigning champion couldn't convert front-row potential into podium points. With Bagnaia losing ground and Alex running out of tire, Marc Márquez opened up a gap that couldn't be bridged. In front of Ducati's faithful, he delivered a commanding, symbolic win that further stamped his authority on the 2025 season. Wearing red, it was Ducati's day on the Ducati circuit, with 3 Ducatis on the podium. I remained patient and calm, and as the tires began to fall, I tried to give it my all. Marc Márquez added. Calm when it mattered, ruthless when the door opened. This was vintage Marquez, now in Ducati colors. It wasn't just another win. It was a message to the entire grid. The 8-time world champion is not just fast, he's back to being unshakable. With 37 points gained and championship momentum in full swing, Mugello may be remembered as Marc Márquez's Ducati breakthrough, a race where strategy, emotion, and a fearless edge delivered victory at the heart of enemy pressure. For Pecco Bagnaia, it was another reminder that in 2025, the biggest threat to his throne isn't wearing a different color. He's in the same garage. Tardozzi praised Marquez's performance, noting how the Spaniard controlled the race with minimal margin. Even without a significant gap, his execution was flawless. Marc had everything under control, even though he didn't have many tenths of a second advantage, Tardozzi said. Unlike others who struggled as tire wear set in, Marquez balanced aggression and caution perfectly, particularly after clashing with Bagnaia early. It was a race where experience and patience beat raw pace. Despite Marc's brilliance, Tardozzi showed empathy for Pecco, who was visibly struggling in the latter half of the race, especially with front tire grip. At the start of the race I was excited for Pecco, but he suffered a drop in grip and couldn't continue fighting. Pecco's Mugello curse continues. In front of his home crowd, he fought valiantly, only to fade late in the race, overtaken by Giannantonio for the final podium spot. Still, the team is standing firmly behind him. Marc Márquez was met with some boos despite delivering a win for Ducati. Tardozzi didn't hold back when asked about it. It doesn't seem right to boo the winner, whoever it is. Even when he was at Honda, I never thought that was fair. In a rare moment of unity, Tardozzi defended both Ducati and rider dignity, calling for fans to celebrate the victory, not the uniform. Red is red, his message seemed to imply, and Marquez earned it. Though the results haven't favored him lately, Bagnaia remains a top-tier rider in the team's eyes. The problem lies not in his talent, but in repeat technical issues. We've been missing something to help him, but Pecco is still the champion we know. Ducati's ongoing goal is to help Pecco overcome recurring grip and set up challenges. Until then, his title defense remains an uphill battle, especially with Marc widening the gap at the front. At Mugello, Ducati stood tall, but not unshaken. Tardozzi's candid assessment reflects the reality inside the garage. One rider is flying, the other is floundering. But make no mistake, Ducati still believes in its champion. The clock is ticking, and Bagnaia knows it. And for Marquez? He's not just winning races, he's winning the team.